Listening Tough Tiger Talk Flash Report.
Remarkable day for our university. Remarkable day for our football team that displayed resiliency, toughness, all the things that make us Tigers. My pregame speech to our football team said to them, I know you want to play hard. I know you're going to play hard. Here's what the charge and the ask is, that when adversity hits you, you find a way, you will the way, and you keep on punching because it's going to happen. I wish I could tell you we're going to shut them out and it'll be 50-0. That's not a reality. The reality is you're going to have to earn everything that you get, and they won't give it to you. They never have. And so we find ourselves in the first quarter, 14-0. After the first series, a block punt that went scoop and score. Then they answered it again. And so it tests our resolve, and it makes you look in the mirror at yourself to see if you have what it takes. We had what it took today. I'm so proud of our football team and how they represented themselves, our university, and they never say die spirit. They just kept on fighting and kept on punching. And I'm proud to be in the position I am to have led them to this victory. They earned it. They earned it the hard way.
Coach, you have a long-standing relationship with Harlem and his family. Just talk about what you saw out of him tonight and just his ability to make guys miss, I would say.
Yeah, we had various situations throughout the game, and you play it out. And I stood before you guys last week in a 2-minute or middleweight, if you will, the end of the second going into the third with us getting the ball back. And from up top, the question that was asked was, do we want to just kneel it? No, we're not kneeling it. No, we're not going to just kneel it. We're going for points. We're going to empty the chamber. We're going for points. And we're going to hopefully get an opportunity to score again in the third. And so at the minus 20, after an interception, go length of field, 80 yards, and get 3 points. At the back end of the game, in a 4-minute drill where you have to get a first down. They're a dangerous football team, and all they need is 3 to overcome us or to beat us at that point. So we need a first down. We get a couple of them, and then the game was in Harlem's hand at that moment on 3rd and 3. And you got to make a decision. All right, do you kick a field goal and still give them opportunity with a very dangerous quarterback in offense, the number 8th offense in college football, or do you try to shut the door? Because all you need is 3. And he pops a big one. He takes it on his own. He knew that there would be one guy backside. Go win you one-on-one. This is what you were born to do. He won his one-on-one, and it helped propel us to victory.
Yeah. Coach, on your game-winning drive, you broke out some very creative plays.
Yeah.
Did you practice those all during the week and you're saving them all for one drive, or what's the thinking?
No, we practiced them all week. Some had been with us, some from last week, some we added this week, just vulnerabilities and ways we thought we had to be creative to find a way to score. And so to the staff, it was, we're going to just leave these bullets here and practice these plays and come back and then talk about, man, we should have did this. We could have did that. We're not doing it. Empty the chamber, use everything that we've practiced. And we began to call those things and go down the field. And it worked out for us. They worked out in our favor. And there are no guarantees, but it gives you a chance. And also, that's all our kids needed and wanted was a chance. And so we called the things that we thought could give us opportunity to get chunk yardage and big plays. And tonight it worked, or this afternoon it worked in our favor.
How was Michael Van Buren today in his first start, at least from your vantage point?
Yeah, he started off a little slow, but he got going and he got comfortable. This is that's a huge responsibility for the quarterback of the LSU Fighting Tigers to go into that arena. Our fans are the best in the world. Our fans can be tough sometimes as well. And so he knew what was in front of him. He got comfortable and began to take control of the game, of the football team, and picked up huge yardage at opportunities and rushing and great throws at times as well. I was proud of him. I thought he played admirably and got the game into a point where he was able to affect change and dictate for our football team.
Jessica. In the back, Coach Wilson, you being the interim head coach for the team that has been through a lot this season with the gritty win and doing it in Tiger Stadium, what did it mean to you?
It means everything to myself and to our staff. I told our staff, I'm proud of them in the way that they prepared, the way that they challenged their position group, the way that they coached. But I'm even more proud, and I want them, as I concluded meeting with them, when we go into that locker room, you love on these babies. You let them know, I appreciate you for doing what was asked of you. it's just it culminated. It culminated in this day for our staff and for our players. So a big win for us, and I couldn't be more overjoyed for our football team.
How did Nussmeier re-injure himself? When did he do it, and what are his prospects going forward?
He re-injured himself the back end of this week in practice, just making a routine throw. I don't know if it was scar tissue or exactly what it is from a diagnostic standpoint, but it's his ab area. And so it happened at the back end of this week. What is it going forward? I'm not quite sure. You know, we practiced up until yesterday to see if there was opportunity that was potential if we got in an emergency situation, and he was not able to do so. And so we'll continue to monitor him day by day, week by week to see his progress.
Yeah, Frank, the playmaking ability of your defense today really showed. Looked like they bent at times but never broke. Just talk about their performances and just how big of a boost they gave you today.
Yeah, 3 turnovers. You know, knocked the ball away, picked the ball off, goal line stand, short yardage stand, and just continue to make play after play. And that's the reality of it, right? Of a heavyweight fight. That you don't get a haymaker now. You're going to get a haymaker and how you respond from it. And so they put us in position to achieve victory today in their style of play.
Yeah, this is Master Delane. They tested him today. And for some reason, he picked off the interception in the goal line. Just how important it's been all year for you, but particularly today.
Yeah, you know, he's a young man who knows what he wants, right? He came here to position himself to have an opportunity to get into the playoffs. He's a young man that came here to position himself with an opportunity to enhance his draft potential. He does it weekly for us in his preparation. It carries over on Saturdays and games. And it's a reflection of when hard work meets opportunity in preparation, that's the result you get. And so very proud of Mentor and the job he's doing.
Coach in the back over here, not a football specific question with the scheme, but you're the second African-American to hold the title of head coach for LSU in any capacity. The other, of course, being Brad Davis on your staff, and now you're the first Black man to lead LSU to a win as its head coach. With that in mind, how does that feel for you?
Yeah. To be in position to lead this team to victory after 3 weeks of agony, right? You want so much for those young people who came here with hope, with dreams and aspiration. You want to deliver for them. You want to put them in position to have success, that they recognize that me coming here was not in vain, that this is the place where dreams become a reality, right? And so so much of what we do, what I do is to serve the young people here, to serve this institution that very little thought I've given to what it is for me personally. I think it runs its natural course with that, whatever that may be. I just want to be the best version of me. I acknowledge those who have knocked on the door and hope for opportunity as African-American coaches for many years. I stand on the shoulders of those men who are giants. And so I'm very fortunate. I'm very proud. I'm very humbled to be in position to be able to help this team and earn victory.
All right. Shout out to the fam. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all for being in the live, man. Big Q. Tough Tiger Talk. A recap here, man. We took care of business against this Arkansas team. And to be honest with you, fam, it was one of those type of games, man, where LSU is on a 3-game slide coming into this thing. We needed to win against Arkansas, a team that is, struggling. They were 0-6 in SEC play, but they had Petrino as a coach, and they've been playing some very inspired football after losing their coach as well. So shout out to Coach Frank. He is a man of integrity, as you can hear and see, and that's what represents the Tiger Nation, man. Nothing but the best. And you got to give a lot of credit. This was not a perfect game. The first quarter was difficult for us, but just LSU fought back. The second quarter, the defense locked in, didn't allow Arkansas to do anything, while LSU scored 16 points to take the lead before halftime. Of course, Arkansas then came back and put 8 points in the third. And roughly after that, LSU was able to kind of lock in and seal the deal with a touchdown in the back end. So it was a very interesting game. But you see, LSU had that never die spirit. They mentioned the trick plays that LSU was running in that drive. And I was like, man, that's the fun stuff that the youngsters have. That's the fun stuff. So it was good seeing that. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was enough to win without your starting quarterback. We know Nussmeier has several injuries that he's dealing with. He couldn't play. But for Michael Van Buren, the sophomore, to come in and throw for over 200 yards and outplay their quarterback, Green, who's 6'6" athlete that's been playing well in that Petrino system up there in Arkansas. But I really respect this win. Like I said, it wasn't a blowout win. You get those, and we'll get that next week. We'll get the blowout win next week, you hope. But this was a big one, man. This was really big insofar as LSU kind of delving in, digging in, playing gritty, getting the turnovers, and just getting in position to stop the slide, man. And they stopped the slide at 3 games, get a win, improve to 6-4. Coach Frank gets his first win as the interim coach, and we'll take it in the Western Kentucky next, come to town. But, man, for right now, man, I'm just really happy for the Tiger Nation, man. We've been through so much over these last 3 weeks, all of the drama. You know, the 3-game losing streak, there was a bye week in between there. And what really was interesting is the fact that you fire your coach. You have the stuff that happens with the governor. You have the stuff that then happens with Brian Kelly as he haggles with the university. You got the naming of the athletic director. You have all these different other groups that come together around the AD, with the AD. The rumors are circulating around LSU looking at the next coach. And while all that is happening, hey, we still got football to play. We still got 3 games left to play. You know, so it's a interesting, but still in all, it is good to feel a win again. You know what I mean, fam? So anyway, let's kind of jump right into the statistics of the matchup that happened tonight for LSU. Let's get right into it. Victory, family, victory. LSU had 21 first downs versus 16 by Arkansas. They were 8 of 17 on third down, which is a lot more respectable. 211 by Arkansas. Arkansas did get their work in on fourth down. They were 3 of 4. LSU almost 400 yards of offense versus 340 by the Arkansas Razorbacks. 235 yards passing by LSU versus 165 by Arkansas. You can see the rushing attack. Both teams ran the ball extremely well. LSU put up 155 yards on 37 carries. They averaged 4.2 yards per run, and Arkansas was getting it handled for them. They had 35 attempts for 175 yards. They averaged 5 yards an attempt. That's not good. But like I said, when you have both of these teams have fight in them, LSU just had more. And it meant more at the end of the day to collect that dub. You can see the penalties, 6 for 55 by Arkansas Tigers, 7 penalties for 57 yards. But the turnovers were really, really helpful for LSU. 3 turnovers. They had a fumble and 2 interceptions that helped them to seal the deal. You can see there a discipline with the time of possession, 34-45 versus 25-15 by Arkansas. And like I said, you don't let the record fool you. Arkansas has been playing some pretty tough football as of late. And then this is, like I said, without your starting quarterback, he's still turning a really decent performance. It didn't look like that at first, but Van Buren kind of synced in later on in the game and was able to find receivers up the field. You've seen several drops throughout the game, but they never gave up. Michael Van Buren, 21 of 31 for 221 yards. He averaged 7 yards a throw and a touchdown. His QBR was 56.2. Juwan Johnson had a trick throw as well in the game for 14 yards. The rushing attack was really big for LSU. It really helped LSU to kind of keep the clock and move the clock to eat up time against Arkansas. Caden Durham led the day, 12 carries for 65 yards. He averaged almost 5.5 yards per rush. He had a touchdown. Harlan Berry, with the elusibility that he showed, 11 carries for 52 yards, almost 5 yards a carry. He is the future of LSU. Michael Van Buren had 10 scrambles for 36 yards and almost averaged 4 yards a scramble as well. So you throw Durham, Cade, you throw Harlem, you throw Van Buren, who has dual ability. He had a solid game in retrospect. If you take a look at his contribution, passing the ball with over 220 yards, and he ran and scrambled around 10 times for 36 yards to add along with what Cade Durham and Harlem Berry did. So really good that way. The receiving game for LSU, Xavier Thomas had 6 grabs for 80 yards. He averaged 13.3. He was big, got a little dinged up in there. Baron Brown had 3 for 44. K. Durham also caught 3 for 34. Harlem Berry had 3 for 24. Kyle Parker, 2 for 16. 1 for Trey Green, who was out there blocking, but not really a point in the game. So to be able to win the game without going to Trey was big. Bauer Sharp also had a touchdown catch. He kind of flexing on him in the end zone. 1 grab for 12 yards for him in the matchup. So good to see our tight ends finally get what they belong. And of course, you see Pyburn was the guy that recovered the fumble. Our defensive end, our top tackler was Tamarcus Cooley. He had 8 along with AJ Halsey. Pat Pyburn was also, he had 6 tackles to go along with Devon Keys. And Mansour Delaney was also very big in this game. So Harold Perkins also had a sack and a pick in the game as well. So a lot of good stuff going on for our Tigers. You know, you see several people. Dylan Carpenter, the defensive lineman, he had a sack. Deshaun Spears had a sack, half a sack for C.J. Jackson. Like I said, 1 for Harold Perkins, and Bernard Gooden had the other one. He was finally healthy and playing, and they had 4 sacks on the team. And then the receptions, Harold Perkins had a pick as well as Mansour Delaney. So they were really good plays and things that was happening for this team, to be quite honest with you, in the game, fam. It was just a really spectacular display in the back half of the game for them to sink in and say, you know what, man, let me go ahead on and just lock this down and be done with it. And they took it away and they stopped the slide. They moved forward. And then, of course, you look at the other side, and much respect to Arkansas, man. They came in here and gave us a very good game. Taylon Green, the big 6'6" quarterback athlete. He was 11 for 19 for $165, averaged 9 yards a throw. But the defense got him for 2 picks, 67.5 there. Mike Washington Jr., 13 carries for 85 yards. He did a really stellar job in running the ball, 6.5, and a touchdown. Taylon Green was the second leading rusher. Not only was he throwing, but he was also running around. 17 scrambles for 70 yards. He also had a touchdown. So he's a difficult player to deal with, but LSU was able to give them their 8th loss of the season going forward. So big ups to LSU, man. Big ups to LSU. Big ups to LSU. So anyway, as we move this thing forward, LSU's next matchup, man, is going to be against Western Kentucky. This will be next weekend. This will be an afternoon game in Death Valley. It'll be under the lights. So we go from under the sun early in the day to under the lights. And also remember that early games like that kind of throw us off. That early 11 o'clock game, they were a little despondent, a little off kilter. You could see it early on, and that's to be expected. We don't often play a lot of games that early, so you expect the time to be thrown off a little bit. But under the lights, LSU is much more comfortable playing under the lights of Death Valley. They got a Western Kentucky Hilltopper team that's coming into the matchup at 8-2. We don't want to take anybody likely as McIver, who is their their quarterback. He has over 1,800 yards throwing, 12 touchdowns against just 5 picks. Their top running back is Parrish, 325. This is off 68 carries. Henry is the wide receiver with 568 receptions. Oliver is the top sack man, and Wester is the top linebacker in tackle. So this will be a late game under the lights. And like I said, Western Kentucky has won 3 in a row. They're feeling pretty good about themselves, man. Of course, these are lesser games, obviously, and LSU obviously is looking to get a second win against, what we would consider inferior competition. But at the same time, Western Kentucky is the 3rd best team according to their records in Conference USA. So Kennesaw State, Jackson State, all these guys. So you have to go into the game not looking anybody over. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with Garrett Nussmeier, if he'll be good to go in that Western Kentucky game. But it'll be interesting because really the truth, if Garrett can't play in the game, I think we'll be okay to have Van Buren. I think Van Buren did enough in the matchup to be able to go against a Western Kentucky team. I have confidence in him, his escapability and his passing acumen. I see he has a rhythm with some of the players on offense. The offense looks better I ain't gonna say better. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think it looks a lot more in tune when Van Buren is in there, you see, because of his ability to be a threat running the football. He's not forced to stand in the pocket and try to deliver in tight windows. He can rip passes across the field. He can throw from different angles. And I do like his temperament to take and pull the ball down and run to pick up a first down, this sort of thing. It puts pressure on the defense as well. So yeah, I would much prefer Michael Van Buren to be the starter there. Let Nussmeier rest up because you're going to need him against Oklahoma. You're going to need him in the final matchup, in the final regular season matchup against Oklahoma, man, because Oklahoma beat Alabama today. I don't know if y'all realize that or not, if people ain't paying attention to the top 25 scores in the SEC. But, man, yeah, they beat Alabama today, and they'll kind of go up in the polls. So when we face Oklahoma in the regular season finale, it's going to be a game. So you might want to let Nussmeier rest up and for that game if he's not healthy for 2 weeks away, because you're going to need whatever he can do against Oklahoma. It's not going to be an easy matchup against them. Right. So anyway, so look, before we go, let me kind of just jump in there and just kind of hit y'all with the scoreboard here of what's happening so far Saturday night, right? Florida right now trailing Ole Miss 10-7. This right now is at the start of the second quarter. Utah right now over Baylor 14-0, the 13th ranked Utes. The UCLA team is trailing the number one team in the nation, Ohio State, 7-0 in the first quarter. Texas is 0-0 with Georgia right now at the start of the first quarter. Right here, later on, you see TCU and BYU later on in the night. And then, of course, you see the final games. Indiana, ranked second in the nation, beat Wisconsin 31-7. The third-ranked Texas A&M team just edged by South Carolina and almost had an upset 31-30. They came from all the way back from a deficit. They scored 28 points in the second half to steal the game from South Carolina. It was in South Carolina hands, and they completed a record comeback to stun South Carolina. Big win for them. Oklahoma, number 11th ranked in the nation, take on the number 4 Alabama team. You can see the win 23-21. Oklahoma, that is a big, big win. And that really hurts if you're Alabama, but Oklahoma, that's a major win for them. And it sets up a really interesting contest in about 2 weeks for LSU. Then we move on to Texas Tech, number 6 in the nation. They beat UCF 48-9. No problem there. Notre Dame, number 9th in the nation, get a big win over Pitt, who's 22nd ranked, 37-15. The 15th ranked Miami Hurricanes took care of business in North Carolina State, 41-7. 16th ranked Georgia Tech defeated Boston 36-34 in a close one. The 17th ranked USC Trojans beat the 21 ranked Iowa team 26-21. The Michigan 18th ranked Michigan Wolverines edge out Northwestern 24-22. Virginia, 19th ranked in the country, beats Duke 34-17. The 23rd ranked Tennessee Vols took care of business against New Mexico State 42-9. The South Florida Bulls, 24th ranked, upset by Navy 41-38. What an upset that is if you're South Florida. And of course, the final Arizona falls to, or actually upset Cincinnati, number 25th ranked Cincinnati, 30-24. So a couple of upsets happening this week for real. And it should shake up some stuff in the polls, man, in the ranking system to see what happened. You see Navy beating South Florida. You see Arizona topping Cincinnati. Quite a few upsets happen this week as well. And we should see some shaking up in the polls, to be honest with you, fam. We should see some shaking up going on here after these several upsets. Oklahoma was a big one over Alabama. I had Alabama winning that one. So, yeah, this has been quite a couple upsets and happened today, fam. So we still have games that are playing right now. Utah up 14-6 on Baylor. They just scored right now. As you can see, Florida up 14-10 on Ole Miss in the second, and Ole Miss is marching to get the score back currently. So that is some That is where we are right now on this afternoon, this Saturday afternoon of college football. Also of note that shout out to the Tough Tiger Talk family and LSU. Coach Frank wins his first game as a head coach. LSU improves, man, to 6-4. We have Western Kentucky coming in, and it's going to be interesting, to be honest with you, fam, moving forward. So it's 2 weeks left in the regular season. We looking good. I won't overlook Western Kentucky. We have to take care of business against the Hilltoppers, and then we have a big matchup against Oklahoma, man, for real. So anyway, with that being said, man, y'all fill in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about the win today, about LSU. How'd you like the win? I know it was some stuff, some positives, some negatives, but tell me what you guys like. And who do you prefer to still be at the quarterback position? Asking the Tough Tiger Talk Nation. Do you guys think Van Buren should continue to lead the team for the rest of the regular season, or do you feel like just let Nussmeier heal up and get ready for stiffer competition, and particularly, heal up to get ready for the Oklahoma matchup at the end of the season? Oklahoma could be very well catapulted into top 5 status, fam. By the time we get ready to see them, they could be well enough to be a top 5 team. They beat Alabama. I think Alabama was ranked either third or fourth in the country, and they beat them. Let me check that. Yeah, they were 4th ranked in the nation. So Oklahoma was 11. With that should put them inside of the top 10. And by the time we get ready to see them, they could possibly be a top 5 team. So that's just an interesting matchup that we'll see with that team, Oklahoma. And we have them in the season finale. So that is going to be interesting, man, to be honest with you. And we have to go up there to Oklahoma to play those guys. So, man, it's going to be interesting. John Mateer, man, they're rolling, man. They're playing really good football up there, man. They're playing some good football up there. So, like I said, that's way off. That's way off. We got Western Kentucky up next, but it's just fun to dream. All right. So anyway, with that being said, thank y'all for being in on this live. Please do me a service by hitting the like button and the subscribe button and the share button. Share Tough Tiger Talk with all of the other diehards across the Tiger world, man. We in there talking LSU. We love our squad. We got a win today. We improve. Anytime we get a win, we win. We have Western Kentucky up next. I love the energy that we're playing with, and we just got to bottle this and keep it going to finish the year. So with that being said, fill in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think about the win. Who should start next week, going up against Western Kentucky? Throw it in the comment section, and I'll discuss it on the next show. With that being said, I'm out, and I'm going to holler at you on the next one. Much love, and go Tigers.
Subscribe to the Tough Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all things LSU football.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.